Good evening and morning to you. I'm Dig That. I just want to take a quick trip down the Star Citizen Live 3.17 discussion. Let's let it rip. ATC button. If you didn't know, we're getting an ATC button that'll let us contact air traffic control when we are nearby. What it's going to default to for the initial offering is that it's going to contact the closest thing next to you. If you're at New Babbage and you're near the garage, and the garage is closer to you than the spaceport, that's what the button is going to trigger. Beautiful thing is, if you have voice attack, you can just put whatever nerdy kind of docking request you want to in there. There it is. Get your nerd on. The whole A. Logging in after bed logging on the whole A shouldn't affect the cargo attached to it. I know a lot of people have a fear about that, just because sometimes right now, if you bed log out on a planet, then you log back in and the gears will be retracted, might be falling on the planet. So as far as Todd Pappy's concerned, so far so good. He's unsure if players will be able to trigger the extension and retraction of the cargo racks. The assumption is that it'll be state dependent, like VTOL. Refueling, that'll be rebalanced and then tweaked as needed as data is collected. Also, ships that weren't meant to scoop fuel will no longer be able to. You might have heard that already, which that further strengthens the necessity of refueling gameplay. Just one type of quantum fuel and one type of hydrogen fuel will be offered at the implementation. Further down the line, we may see things like specific grades of fuel, which should affect the performance of the ship, the performance of boosting, additional wear and tear. In the short term, there are no additional features planned to complement refueling at this time, like were added to mining gameplay. The team is focused on completing salvage and life support, as well as resource management that enables engineering gameplay and ships to come online and enables ships to be taken down rather than destroyed. These will be necessary for Pyro, which doesn't have the same infrastructure as Stanton for refueling and repairing your ships. Also, no NPC missions with refueling-based gameplay for 3.17, since they're in the middle of finalizing the refueling feature in general. Cyclone, MT, and the P-72 will be added to in-game stores in 3.17, with the Hover Quad and Cuddy Steel coming to shops in 3.18 at the latest. No other ships were addressed, so if you're looking to buy a 400i in-game, gonna have to wait a little longer. At least not 3.17, won't be there for 3.17. Todd Pappy made a point of mentioning work on the PU has not stopped because the focus has shifted over to Squadron 42. Star Citizen still has a large content team, 3 different feature teams. The only difference is that instead of things being made for Star Citizen first and then being ported over to Squadron 42, now it's flipped. They're being built for Squadron 42 first and then sent over to Star Citizen. The shift in resources has given a big boost toward the progress of Squadron 42. So the faster they get things and work them out, the faster we can get them too. Should work out for everybody. Quality of life fixes are worked on when possible and are dependent on current prioritizations. They know the star map is broken. They know this. And the new star map is a top priority over at the Squadron 42 team, and it'll make its way over to PU when that's completed. The coffee shop vendor is more or less a reskin of the bartender, as will be the shop vendors, but where it's going toward is the development of the black market dealer that will eventually replace the kiosk that you're interfacing with when you're smuggling items. Pretty impersonal. They want to put a face out there. Coffee shop vendor is the first step, second or third step in getting toward that direction. As far as selling, there's no plans for a wipe right now. I know a lot of people have asked me that, and it was one of the questions asked in Star Citizen Live. So no plans for a wipe right now. Usually they give us a bigger heads up if there was a wipe incoming. But again, the Star Citizen, anything can happen. Who knows? But no plans for one as far as right now. Items that you buy on the website, you cannot sell those at the new sell kiosk. Initially, the price of the items you'll sell won't be affected by the volume of other players selling those same items at the location. As far as Top Happy's aware, the sold items won't stack into a vendor's inventory. Instead, this will cause these items to be pulled out of the economy. Nothing concrete as far as gameplay for Rivers at the moment. So definitely nothing for 3.17. What has been discussed is mud buildup on ships and on players, as well as swimming. More rivers will be added in upcoming patches, possibly as early as 3.18. The first iteration of Quantum will appear in 3.17 and will control 3 commodities, pricing of repair, materials, and fuel, as well as where service beacons occur. It'll stretch its legs out with controlling piracy, security, and freighters at several locations. As you probably know by now, a lot of items have been pulled out of the shops and placed in loot containers spread around the system. So yeah, they took my gold helmet out of the shops. I'm gonna have to go loot. I might, if you find one, hit me up. Might have to buy it off of you, maybe. Half price. The ability to sell or access stolen ship cargo is relying on physicalized cargo. Once that's in place, then you'll be able to physically move the cargo where you want it. You get the full cargo inventory. If you blow up a ship, everything should work how you would expect it to work once they have physicalized cargo. No new mission content at 3.17's launch, possibly coming during a 3.17.x launch, or X patch, 3.17.x patch. So hopefully we could use some more missions, most definitely. Asteroid scanning has received a fix. It sounds like it may not have worked out all the kinks that the fix they implemented, and server meshing may need to be in place for a complete solution. But they did a pass on it, so that's good. Hopefully that means we can scan everything, because it sucks when you're out there looking for Quantanium and you see this cluster of rocks that you can't even scan, and you know it in your mind that there's Quantanium in their rocks. But hopefully. As stated in ISC, service beacons for refueling won't be available in the initial implementation. Updates to the service beacon UI will be updated first before they extend it out to include refueling service beacons. Desync improvements has been looked at. Ship combat has been touched up to make the timing more synchronized, but in Evo, it's resulted in a bit more jitter with enemy ships. It's not a complete fix, but it is more in the right direction. The desync is an ongoing issue that they'll continue working on until it's no longer an issue. So when you're out there, your timing should be better, but ships might be But hopefully it's not too bad. I haven't seen it. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments. Top Happy, he's worked on several games, including God of War. He did take a minute to speak about how being a game director for Star Citizen works out well. In other games, once they go gold, there's just no telling how it's going to be received. But in Star Citizen, they can bring out pieces of the game, give feedback on it. If it's not working, they can go back in the lab and get it where it needs to be for players to have a good experience and to make a better overall game. But that's it. That's everything that you didn't get to see in 3.7 or Star Citizen Live 3.17. I'll see you on the next video. Let me know if you'd like to see more stuff like this, quick breakdowns. Holla at your boy. Deuces.